Assalamu alaikum viewers. I am Humaira Tahir, your English teacher. Today we are going to start unit number 8 of your textbook. It is a poem written by Robert Frost, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Like Wordsworth and John Keats, Robert Frost was also a nature lover. And in this poem, Stopping by Woods, the speaker or the poet describes his stopping to watch the snow fall while riding a horse through the woods. The natural world to him is very lovely and overwhelming that it uh, lures the speaker to linger in and stop to enjoy the natural beauty. Poet seems to revel in the beauty he finds around him, but at the same time, his subconscious awakes him and he has to resume his journey because he has certain obligations and certain responsibilities to fulfill before he reaches destination. Okay, now come to the poem. The time period of Robert Frost is 1874 to 1963. First of all, we have the analysis of the poem. Mood of the poet is that he is indulged in the fantasy of woods, tranquility, and calmness. Form and structure is four stanzas with four lines each. Rhyme scheme is A, B, B, C, B, C, C, D, C, D, D, and D. Uh, the the first and second and fourth line in each stanza is rhymed, and the third line is then again rhymed in the second stanza. Figures of speech used here are symbolism, personification, imagery, metaphor, alliteration, repetition, and connotation. Now, the central idea of the poem. Robert Frost was a nature lover. In this poem, he gets inspiration from the tranquil sight of the deep, dark woodland. The scene is so fascinating that he gets arrested by its serenity and calmness. While he is being captivated by the beauty of nature, he realizes that he has certain responsibilities to fulfill and he cannot revel the beauty around him for a long. He must resume his journey. He knows that his promises must be kept and his responsibilities must be met. Poem is actually a pull between man and nature. Now come to the poem, stanza number 1. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. Now this poem is like an allegory, like a story, and in which the speaker, the poet himself is a speaker, and he says that he knows that the owner of the woodland in which he is enjoying the snowfall lives in the village, and he will not see me stopping here, that he will as he is far from him, so he will not see him stopping there, that he is watching his woodland. It's a kind of transgression here that he knows that the owner of the woodland would not trouble for his trespassing, as he is enjoying the woodland without his permission. Now, in the last line, to watch his woods fill up with snow. Now, it's a visual image in which a snow falling is mentioned in the woodland, and it's the evening time, and darkness prevails over there. Now, stanza number 2. My little horse must think it queer. Queer means it looks very strange to stop without a farmhouse near. His horse, actually, his horse is is a kind of common sense or subconscious of the rider, that he says that the horse uh, find it very strange that why the rider is staying or stopping at the place where there is no farmhouse. Between the woods and around him there are there is thick woodland, and all the site is ice covered and frozen. Lake is also frozen. The darkest evening of the year. Now it's the time of the evening, and there darkness prevails around the poet, where he is enjoying the beauty of nature. Now horse here is thinking about the subconscious. So here he is given him human thought to the horse, and so it is a sign of it is a uh, technique which is used by the poet, which is personification. Now, next is he gives his harness bells a shake. Now, it is a sound imagery, auditory image. The sound that is produced by the bridle of the horse, that is, uh, he wants to um, warn the rider that why he is stopping between the woods, whether he has made a mistake to stop there. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flakes. The, the poet says that his horse might think it strange to stop near the woodland where there is no farmhouse. He says that his horse thinks it strange to stop between the thick, dark forests. So the horse wonders why the rider has stopped there at that odd hours of evening to ask this question. It jingles its bridle bells, and it seems as if it is asking its rider the reason of stopping there. It wants to know whether they have suffered something wrong or they have made a mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Here, the poet is depicting a consciousness in the form of the sound produced by the bridle of the horse, and he is warning him that either he has made a mistake or there is something wrong with him. Stanza number 4. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep. All these images, lovely, dark, and deep, these are producing a positive connotation. But I have promises to keep. Now, promise here are the commitments or the responsibilities he is going to fulfill. So, it is an example of metaphor. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So it is a kind of repetition in which the poet is giving emphasis to the, he is going to communicate deeper truth of life, and he emphasized the commitments which he has no choice but to honor them. So he has to fulfill his obligations, and he could not stay for a long time there enjoying the beauty of nature, and he must resume his journey. Okay, now look at the summary of the poem. Robert Frost was one of the famous American poets. His poetry documented the rural life of America. This poem was written in 1922, and it captures a pull between man and nature. Poet presents nature as a standard of beauty which was so strong that it captured the attention of the speaker and made him halt to watch the snow falling near a frozen lake. The owner of the woods was in the village, and there was no farmhouse nearby. The speaker knows that the owner would not get trouble for the trespassing. His horse shook the harness bells, questioning the pause between the woods and the frozen lake. The only other sound was of the easy wind and downy flakes. The dominating impression of the snowy evening was the whiteness blanketing everything. Poet wanted to enjoy the soothing beauty of nature, but he could not remain there for a long time. His responsibilities, his obligations of real life did not allow him to stay there. Soon he must return to his busy life, concluding with these lines: But I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Poem is full of symbolism. Poet has used figures of speech like metaphor, hyperbole, repetition, personification, imagery, alliteration, and assonance. Now look at the questions with the poem. What hidden meanings do the following words convey to us? Woods, house, horse, harness, bell, and snowy evening. Downy flakes and the snowy evening. Now these are the hidden meanings given here. You can see woods means the nature, house is the destination, horse is subconscious, harness is the warning bell, downy flakes the beauty of nature. Woods denote nature and mystery, house human society, horse human consciousness, harness bells warning sounds, downy flakes warning sounds, downy flakes charm and beauty, bewitching the poet. And the examples of alliteration in the poem are: his house, see me stopping, watch his words, his harness, sounds, sweep, dark, and deep. Now you need to learn the summary of this poem and the question answers given by the side in the boxes by the side of the poem. And you must know the paraphrase of the stanzas and the central idea of the poem. Now you must prepare yourself for this for the test next time, and you must learn and write the summary in your classwork copies. Okay, thank you.